This July, Center for Ocean Mapping and Innovative Technology students Emily Brown, Jaden Crute, Garrett Miller, and Glider Sam traveled to Charleston, South Carolina to spend a week aboard the NOAA ship Nancy Foster.
Hi, I'm Emily. I'm an intern at Comet.
Hi, I'm Jaden. I'm a mechanical engineer at Comet.
Hi, I'm Garrett. I'm an underwater glider technician at USF.
So we were students on the Nancy Foster learning about the hydrographic mapping of the Blake Plateau, and then also kind of just learning like the ins and outs of research at sea on a boat.
The NOAA ship Nancy Foster actually began life in the U.S. Navy as a torpedo test ship in the Puget Sound and was repurposed by NOAA in the early 2000s to support a variety of oceanographic research needs. And in our case, for this mission, the goal was to map the Blake Plateau in support of updating NOAA's nautical charts and to gather additional multi-beam data on the east coast of the United States.
Because the crew spends so much time on board, it became a lot more like a home away from home for them. And so inviting student hydrographers and everything on board, it's kind of going into someone else's home, and you could really see that while we were on board with the theater room and the gym and just the setup of everything in the common areas.
The first day they had us do a whole bunch of safety drills, including the abandoned ship, which is what we're wearing the Gumby suits for.
The purpose of the Gumby suits, or immersion suits as they're more officially known, is to try to ward off hypothermia and to actually assist in flotation if you have to get off the ship. It's really hard to get in the Gumby suits.
The dry lab is where they would take all the multi-beam data and kind of like analyze it and interpret it, and then also where they would get ready to do the CTD casts.
The principle behind sonar is it sends out a sound ping and you have to wait for the sound ping to hit the bottom of the ocean and then come back to the ship. So you need to know what is the speed of sound, and that changes in the water. So we measure CTD, conductivity, temperature, and then depth, because that directly affects that.
Yeah, they did CTD casts twice a day.
At least, yeah.
Two types of casts that they would do for the CTD. One, they would completely stop the ship and switch to the Z drives. And then the other one was usually while the ship was underway, and it would be a lot smaller. So for that underway cast was what a lot of the calculations that they would have us participate in ahead of time in the dry lab were. So we would have a stopwatch with us so that when we released it and let it drop off the back, we could time it to get to the depth that we needed, stop, and then reel it back in.
We typically start at half speed, and then, we're rocking and rolling.
Alright, so while we were out there, the seas got up to about 5-7 feet, which made for a rough time for some of us seasickness wise. But we did take some time during that bad weather when we had a gap to deploy a glider for educational purposes.
So we brought a glider from USF to measure basically CTD data in this region of the Gulf Stream around South Carolina, Georgia. That's been in collaboration with our friends at Socorro, and the data is used really to help hurricane forecasters make better informed hurricane models during all of hurricane season.
So they gave us a tour of the engine, and we kind of got to see like how the actual ship drove and like functioned. And it was super loud, so we had to wear these huge like headphones the whole time.
Persuader! But then we've got kind of our propulsion controls and like what our Z drives are doing on the other screen back there, so you can kind of take a look at how she's moving, how she's pushing our stern around to kind of keep our heading.
We got to see some safety gear in action. We got to use flares, so I got to use a smoke flare, which is what you would use during the day to signal to another ship that you were in trouble.
So the flare that I ended up using was it was the highest visibility one that we got to use, and so they actually had to call the Coast Guard and let them know that we were going to be using it, not to freak out when they saw it.
Everybody else, cover your ears. Ready, go!
then I got to use a handheld version of a visual distress signal as well, which was really exciting and very hot. It was a pretty unique opportunity. Downtime between transiting between stations or anything, there's a lot of different things you can do, and on this cruise we certainly did a lot of puzzles.
Yeah, I think we probably did at least one a day.
Yeah.
At least.
At least.
Lots of Mario Kart,
Yeah.
Super Smash.
We would tie knots in the background if we got tired of sorting puzzle pieces. Trying not to yell in the night so that anyone who's sleeping wouldn't be disturbed.
And not even just the night, right? Because people are sleeping 24 hours a day,
Yeah,
right? The
that's
ship
true.
runs all day long and all day.
It was definitely very cool getting to experience life on a ship for the first time.
For me, it was nice seeing, since my background is engineering, the scientific aspects of oceanography.
I'm very grateful to have had finally had my first opportunity to sail on a NOAA ship.